Okay, so this is my video log for Touch of Evil. So, the social cultural context of the film is a comment on police corruption in the 1940s and 50s, and then also a comment on how people from two different countries, specifically America and Mexico, view each other. The film, the movie Touch of Evil, has a very different critic review when looking at reviews from America versus the reviews from Europe. In America, the film was rated a B movie of the silver screen, meaning that it was a second-rate film and was not really played in theaters as much. It was also completely passed up in the nominations for Academy Awards, and the film was considered radical for its time with corrupt policemen, racism, frames, or people being framed, and betrayal of friends. On the other side of the world, Europe loved the movie. There, it was given great reviews and won Best Picture, awarded by Brussels Film Festival. I would say the genre of the film is a crime noir. The reason why I label this movie as a crime noir is because there are many shots with low-key lighting and many shadows throughout the film, especially on close-ups of characters. The story's plot is about Mexican crime and the corruption of police. The scene I want to analyze is the scene when Captain Hank kills Grandy in a hotel room. I picked this scene because there are many small details in the scene that make it a very important and crucial point in the movie. Um, the context of the scene is that in the scene, the American policeman Captain Hank Quinlan is drunk and is a bit delusional. In uh, his delusion, he decides to frame uh, Mike Vargas's wife Susie, and then claim that he solved the car bombing case and tries to stop Vargas from pursuing him. Uh, I think the director's intention with the scene was to create a very dark and horror-filled murder scene. I think Wells was trying to communicate that Captain Hank has turned truly evil and that he is far from saving. I also think that he is trying to communicate that this whole movie is a nightmare by having the cuts go back and forth between Hank killing Grandy and Susie tossing back and forth on a bed. Um, Meaning is created through this scene, through the use of film language in multiple ways in this scene. One way is through the use of low and high angles. At the beginning of the scene, Captain Hank locks the door, and the shot is framed at a low angle showing that Captain Hank Quinlan is in a position of power. Then cuts to Grandy, who is also shown at a low angle, but as he steps back, his position in the screen becomes smaller, and eventually the camera moves to a high angle showing that he has lost this power and that he is in a state of helplessness. Film language is also shown through the use of low-key lighting, which is seen throughout the whole scene. But I want to specifically point out that every time Captain Hank Quinlan is shown on screen, the lighting will always be much darker on him than on any of the other characters that are shown in the scene. This can be interpreted as a dark cloud that kind of hangs over Quinlan's head, showing how he has become an evil character and that he is committing murder. It can also be a way to show his mental state because he is drunk and he is scared and delusional in this scene.